Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Chair.
So we are there.
Sorry, Chair. We can hear you very well.
Hello, Chair. Chair, we can hear you really very well.
Can hear you very well.
Sebenarnya ticket.
Yeah,
Mau kita dan alam ni. Oh, sedih ya.
同学，他为什么在一起？或者
之前听你都没。
听你有没？或者听你有？
现在在哪里来？
多啊，
但都也是。
之前真吐咗嘅。
How about now? Can you hear me well?
你之前變咗字啊？
之前拿的看法，
啊，
之前这代，
有看到，这里有没？ကြားပြီလားအခုလောက်ကြားရလဲဆက်ရုပ်ပြီးခါမြင်ရ
然后
之前
加
ตะคาตะลี
Yeah,
จ้า
but sometimes it's like it goes like robotic voice. Now we can't hear you anymore.
Yep. No. 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 No.
လုံးဝကြားရတာ
တော့အတန်ကထစ်လုံးနေလို့ဘာပြောလိုက်တယ်အောင်မသိဘူး။
ကြားပြီလားအခုရော
Now yes.
Yes. ကြားပြီဒီမှာ
ကြားပြီ
ကြားပေမဲ့အတန်အရင်တူပါ
သူကကြားတော့ကြား
အခုရောကြားပြီလား
Yes, but the volume is still low.
သဘောမဖြစ်သေးဘူး How about now?
the
The
same
same. Yeah.
Same. ကြားပြီလားအခု
Yes,
Now
yeah.
it's lagging.
But now you're lagging again. Yeah.
Guys, can you hear me now? Sẽ là
Cái đầu
Sao bị nào của?
Yes.
Sao bị nó?
But the volume is like very low.
The volume is very low.
Yeah.
How about now? Sao nào?
Job.
Sao bị? Sao bị nào?
No, still volume is still low.
Ah,
Now
no.
like when your voice get loud, like it changed to like robotic voice, but when your voice is low, we can hear you, but the volume is very low.
No, I can't. What is this?
Mày đâu có được rồi. Sao bị này? Đi đi nó ổn định mà này rồi thì anh sẽ như này à? Sao bị nào?
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
yeah. Yes, yes,
Sao
better.
đó? Anh tự nhiên là đi đánh như vậy sẽ làm được. Mấy cái gì vậy? Mấy cái hoa này change luôn nè, mấy cái công này change luôn nè.
I think if you have like earphone,
Yes,
if you have
yes.
if you have earphone, you can like use that maybe.
Yeah, that is the earphone, right?
Well,
That
then
is the
maybe
only
earphones
one I
mic
have.
is bad.
Yeah, maybe we got that. So how about now? You can hear me, right?
Yes, kind of.
Yes, teacher.
Chú này hả?
No, yeah, teacher, we can hear you.
Cái áp thực ra vì là chuyện mà này.
Yes,
Sao
yes.
vậy nó? Sao vậy? Okay. So where are we now? Sao camera lên của mình giảm á?
Okay, can I not yet?
What did you say?
Yeah, can I not today? Because I've been trying to fix this camera before joining. That's why I'm late. My camera is
okay.
like broke.
Okay,
Like
okay.
integrated webcam have no output, basically. Yeah.
Okay. So because of the camera error, right? Okay. ရှင်းလဲဝေသမီးစာအုပ်တွေ့ပြီစာအုပ်ရပြီလားချက်ခုနတစ်မျိုးခေါ်နေတာ
ဟုတ်တွေ့ပါရဲ့ရှင်
တွေ့ပါရင်နော် okay စာအုပ်ကိုထဲမှာကွက်ပြအောင်များလားရှစ်အုပ်ထဲမှာ
ဟုတ်တယ်ရှင်
တွေ့ပြီနော်ဆိုတာဆိုရင် okay okay so we'll continue our lesson so last week we have finished number the listening one, right? So we have to continue the discussions now. So we'll look at number 7. Project, email, and mobile phone etiquette. It's on page number 19. Page number 19. So do you know what is the meaning of etiquette here? Like mobile phone etiquette and image etiquette. What does that mean? Do you know the word etiquette?
Polite behavior in society.
Yes. So actually, like image etiquette and mobile etiquette means that the rules or the behavior that you have to follow when you're using mobile phone or when you're using email. So that is a kind of etiquette, right? So we'll discuss email etiquette and mobile etiquette today. So we'll look at number 7 now. Walk with a partner and read this guide to email etiquette. So the following are the email etiquette, which means that you have to follow all these rules when you are using an email. So do you agree? And is there anything that you want to add? So we'll look at the first statement here. Do not use capital letters. It is like shouting when you're talking to somebody. So how do you think of that? Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Yes.
You cannot use capital letters for all the letters, right? For example, like this one.
Okay,
It sounds
I
like
always use.
shouting. You always use. So you're always shouting to your friends.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. When I want to like say I'm mad and I want to like shout, I just use that.
But only to your friends, right?
Yeah, sure.
Not to the teachers, not to the principals, like that, right?
Okay, I never chatted with any teacher. They
I
are
mean the
dry.
email. Okay, so it means that we cannot use all the capital letters, right? When you are sending to, especially if it is a formal situation, right? We cannot use like that. Okay, so how about the second one? Always check your email before you send them. Make sure the spelling, the grammar, and the punctuation are correct. So how about that one? Do you agree with that? We have to, right? We have to make sure that everything is correct, right? Like spelling, grammar, and punctuation. So if something is wrong, there may be like misunderstanding between you and the receiver of the email, right? So that is why we have to check everything in detail before sending an email, right? So we need to agree with that one too. So how about the third one? Be careful what you write. Don't be rude. Don't say anything bad about other people. Your email could be forwarded to them. So how do you think of this one? Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Yes. It could be forwarded to that person that you are bad mouthing, right? So that is why we cannot talk about the bad things about one person. So that can be forwarded to them, right? So we can't be rude. So how about the last one? Before you write an email, ask yourself, would a phone call be better? So do you agree with that too?
No, sure. I never call anyone. I have 0 contacts in my phone, like not even my parents.
Oh, seriously? So you rarely use your phone to call someone, right?
Yeah, like others people, like if my mom call me, yeah, she call me. I never call like someone back. Yeah,
Okay, so is that a good thing or a bad thing?
good
I'm not
thing
quite
that you don't
sure.
have to like call. That's weird. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. So how about the others? How do you think? Before we send an email, we have to ask ourselves like, would a phone call be better? Like a phone call will be better or an email will be better. We have to think that first. So if the phone call will be better, we have to call instead of sending an email. So how do you think? Yours? English?
I think phone call is better.
The phone call is better. There is no misunderstanding, right? So we can talk whatever we want to that person, right? Except in a formal situation, right? For example, a job application letter or something like that. We can call that person, right? Okay. So that these are all about the etiquette that we have to follow when using an email. So is there anything that you want to add in this etiquette? Anything? Any rules that you want to add here?
No.
No. How about the girls? Think Leo?
No, teacher.
No, teacher. Okay, no solution. We'll move to number 8 now. So what in group? So there's a group one, right? You are going to write a guide to mobile phone etiquette, discuss your ideas and make notes. So here, these are the email etiquettes, right? So this time you have to create your own etiquette for using a phone, right? So you have to think about it. So there are outlines that you need to think about. So when one is not okay to use a mobile phone, so you have to take into account of that. For example, like during a meal, we shouldn't use mobile phone, or at the cinema or on public transport, we shouldn't use mobile phone like that, right? And the second thing we have to take into account is responding a text and voice message. So which rules do we have to follow when responding a text or when leaving a voice message? And the third thing that we have to think is using the silent mode. It means that where do we have to use silent mode or when do we have to use silent mode? So you have to think about that. You may have some ideas, right? And the last thing is that leaving a message. So when do we have to leave a message and which rules do we have to follow when leaving a message? So you have to think about all these situations and you have to create an etiquette to use a mobile phone just like the ones above, like email etiquette. So can you do that? Can you do that? And
Yeah.
don't worry, that will be a group one. So you have to discuss together and you have to write an email, mobile phone etiquette in your group, and then you have to present for your group. So is there anything that you want to ask me about the group one?
No.
No, okay. So I'll assign you guys in a group, okay? How many students are there? And then 3 groups will be enough. So I'll give you guys like 10 minutes. Is that enough? Is 10 minutes enough?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So I'll give you guys 10 minutes to do this. So you have to discuss together in a group, okay? You can't be silent in your group. So I'll give you guys 10 minutes and you have to join your group, okay? 10 minutes, okay. group one? Is that fun?
No.
It's not fun for some of you guys, right?
No.
But when you're in a group, so please participate in the group and please talk to each other, okay? So you can get familiar with your friends, right? As we can see each other outside, right? So we should have some familiarity in the virtual classroom, right? So you may have friends, right? Okay. So you have to, sorry, you have to present what have you got for your group, okay? So I will call you guys group by group, and then one of you have to give a presentation about that one. So you better choose one of the presenter in your group, okay? So I will start with the group one. The group one participants are Kenny Nido, Kaini A, Dina A, and Nay Nwe Lwin. So who will present for your group? Hey, but who present on one?
And me.
Okay, me. Okay, thank you, Lena, for being volunteering. Okay, so you can start and you can share your group idea with others.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first one. It's not okay to use mobile phone when you are talking to someone. Teacher is teaching. During the silent mode one, we meet a lot of people responding to this reply word. We don't say rude.
Okay, do not use the root word. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's all you have got in your group.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, group one, and thank you, Lena Heng, for presenting. So we'll move to the second group. The group members are Kon Am, Yapong Go, Sean Lai Ziyu, and Sean Lai Wei. So who will present for your group?
I think I have to go. Yeah.
Okay.
So the new ideas we talk about is do not talk over others in our call. It's because that when you talk about others in real life, like you can still like hear both of the people, but like it's still a bad habit, but you can still hear. But on a phone call, like it's like really hard to hear when both of like you are like talking over each other, and like it's just a bad habit. Like no one can hear anyone. Yeah. And then another one is only use the speaker mode when needed. So that means like do not use them in a public, like when other people are around. I think it's also bad for your privacy, and it also can be like annoying for other people. So only use speaker like when you're at home and you can hear properly when like maybe like they're construction beside your house, something like that. Yeah. Another one is using the silent mode and like formal meetings where like everyone is there and like discussing and meetings as such to not to disturb others in case of a phone call. So put your phone in a silent or do not disturb mode when going into like school or maybe like some sort of meeting, because like if there's a phone call, I think it can be annoying to like other people. Another one is be aware of your surroundings in a phone call and change the way you talk depending on it. So that means that if you're like around your grandparents or your parents and you're talking with your friend, you can't talk normally like you guys used to, because like it can be seen as like a bit break from their perspective basically. Yeah, but you can like talk jokingly when you're just with friends and stuff. Yeah. Another one is to speak clearly and be polite and mindful of your volume and your voice while talking on the phone. So that means that do not just like mumble, just like speak clearly, normal, and like be polite, especially when you're talking to your boss or like elder people, and be mindful of your volume and voice. That means that do not like make the volume too loud that it can affect other people's and words. So that means I just speak politely, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you, Kwa, and thank you, group two, for presenting. So I will move to group number three, and the participants are on Campbell, Miss Sinko, Susie, and Susu. So who will present for your group?
And here I present.
Okay.
So for the first fact, so you don't use your mobile phone when you're driving or during a meeting at the office. So I mean that during a formal situation. And when someone send you a message or call you, you must like pick it up or reply at once. So it means that we don't want others to wake us, and you must use the silent mode when you're at the meeting or the cinema, so not to disrupt others. And you must leave a message when you can call someone in 2 times, and you must leave a message. Yes, that's all.
That's it, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Uncle, and thank you, Group 3, for presenting your ideas. Okay, so everyone has finished, right? Thanks for presenting the presenters. So do you prefer individual work or do you prefer group work? Which one do you prefer?
Both.
Both, okay.
So what do you say?
Do you prefer individual work or do you
Individual,
prefer
individual,
group work?
individual, individual.
No, group work is better with your
Like
classmates,
in
right?
real life, I would like enjoy like kind of group work, but online, I prefer individual. Yeah.
You can make friends with your friends online, right? So you
No.
should try that. You should try that.
You can only make friends when you're chatting while teacher is teaching. Yeah.
Okay.
Or like if someone is like friends with someone online, that means they're breaking the rules. Yeah, basically.
Okay, whatever. So you have to make friends with each other, okay? Okay, so we have finished talking about the etiquette here, right? So you know about what the etiquette means, right? It's this kind of like so many rules that we have to follow as a human being in each and every situation like that, right? Like dinner etiquette or something like that, right? Okay, so we'll move to fissions now. So fissions, what does that mean, fissions? What is that fission?
Fiction is like not in real life, basically a story, a makeup one.
So now a story or a novel, right? So you have to read a story or a novel here. It's a fiction. So we'll look at here. Isabella Allende is from Chile and called Cities of the Beast. So the book that we have to read is The City of the Beast. It's a fourth in the 3-part series of 4 young others. So it's kind of like sequel, right? So we'll look at number 1 now. Look at the cover of the book on page 21. So you can see the cover of the book on page 21, right? Can you see very well? Oh, you can see here in color. So this is the cover of the book. And what can you see on the cover? Tell me
Waterfall.
everything. Waterfall. Yeah. And what else?
Cloud.
Spiders.
The tiger.
Spiders. Where is the spiders? Okay. And we can see some of the character face here, right? So that is the cover of the book. So we have to continue reading the question. What sort of book do you think it is? And what do you think it is about? So what sort of book do you think? So is that a romance or is that a horror or is that a detective? How do you think? What sort of book is that? Just by looking at the cover.
Horror.
Horror. So how about the others? How do you think of the book? What sort of book is that? Or adventure?
Fantasy.
Adventure?
Yeah, adventure.
Yes, maybe, right? And the title and the cover, right, convey that it can be like adventure. Or maybe also like horror, like that, right? Okay. So what do you think it is about? So what it is about? How do you think? What kind of things will be included in the novel or in the fiction? What it is about? How do you think? Just by looking at the cover and just by looking at the title of the fiction, what it is about. Can you make a guess? Can you make a guess?
Is it about
what
the
guess?
bee?
About the forest, maybe.
About the forest, okay, and about the
Bee.
beast, okay, about the beast and about the about the jungle, about the beach, about the forest, right? So we are just making a guess. Okay, so we'll move to number 2 now. Read the summary of the story so far and the extras from chapter 1 and how does Alex feel? So Alex may be our main character here for that chapter, right? So you have to read the story so far here and this extras. So read it and then tell me back how Alex feels. Okay, so we'll answer this question after reading the text. So read it and we'll discuss this question. Okay, and you can use your dictionary if you don't know something about in the test. Okay. So have you finished reading the story?
Yes.
Yes. So how about the others? Have you finished reading the story? Finally, hello, BY 啦。好，BY 那里呢是 hello。聽唔聽到個 hello BY 啦 video 啦？
Video.
飛多話，OK， 飛多話。咁我呢啲哦。
Also na paitsen, di ba?
Ako na pa din. Okay, so I will wait, no? Sa video review 嘅set咗邊啦？ So my baby ဖြေနေတယ်တချို့ကကြာတော့就ခေါင်းညိတ်ခေါင်းခါတယ်လို့ပြနေတယ်တူတယ်ကြည့်ရတာ because I can hear a voice.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So I think everyone has finished reading the story, right? You know, okay. So we'll discuss the question there. How does Alice feel? How do you think? How did our main character feel according to the instructions? How did he feel?
Angry, upset, yeah.
Angry and upset. And is there any other feeling that you want to put?
I think he might feel that his opinions and rights were being rejected or declined by his father.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's all.
So he is very angry, right?
Yes.
Mhm. Okay. Okay, so we'll move to number 3 now. Number 3 is match the words and phrases to the definition. So we can see the words here. And these are their definitions. So all we have to do is we have to match the words and their definition. That's it. So for example, I shut me off. It means that set me somewhere when I don't want to go there. So that is the meaning of shut somebody off. So you have to find the definitions for each of the words 2 up to 10. And after that, we'll check together. Okay. So have you finished matching?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll check. What is the meaning of package?
Yeah. Do we all have to say?
Of course, you have to say. What have you
I
got
thought you
for
were
the
going
package?
to ask like a question if I am.
Okay. Yeah, so you all can tell the answer. So what is the answer for the
Something
message?
that is covered in paper and sent in the post.
So it is E, right? Yes, correct. So how about furious? What does that mean, furious?
Very angry.
Very angry.
Very angry, correct. How about fit?
A hand which is tightly closed.
Closed.
Yes, a hand which is tightly closed, so D, right? So how about documentary?
A film or TV program that gives the facts about a situation.
Yes, a film or TV program that gives the facts about situations, so that is D, right? How about mosquitoes?
Insects that suck blood sometimes causing malaria. Malaria, yeah.
Insects that suck blood and sometimes causing malaria. How about caimans?
Reptiles that are like small alligators.
Yes. Reptiles that are like small alligators. How about bandits?
People who rob travelers.
Love traveler.
Yes, correct. People who rob travelers. And how about leprosy?
A very serious disease which destroys the body.
A very serious disease which destroys the body. So how about piranhas?
South African fish with sharp teeth. Oh, no,
Correct.
South American, yeah, not Africa.
South American fish with sharp teeth. So it can bite you, right? Okay. So did you get all the answers for number 3? Everyone? Yes. Yes. Okay. So now we'll move to number 4. Find 5 words the author uses instead of set. So the author has used so many words that has a similar meaning with set, right? So you have to find out 5 more words. But the example has been done, right? Explained. So you have to find 4 more words that has a similar meaning with set. So we'll try to find out the answers in the chat. Okay, and after that we'll check together. Again. Did you find out the words? Did you find out the words?
Only four.
Only four. Okay. So four is explain up to sharp if you guys are. You have to find out only four more words. Yes. Okay. So the first one is explain, right? As the example has been given. So how about the second one? How about the second word that has a similar meaning with that?
Protested.
Huh?
I mean protested.
Protested, correct. Protested is the second word. How about the third one?
Yelled.
Yelled, correct, yes, yelled. And how about the fourth one?
Exclaimed.
Exclaim.
Exclaim, yes, correct. And where is that? Right here, right? Exclaim. And how about the last one?
Blurt.
Yes, blurt out, correct. Blurt out. So there are altogether 5 words that have the similar meaning with said, right? So did you get all the answers?
Yes.
Yes, okay. We have to find in the paragraph. Yes, kindly, you have to find the words in the paragraph. Sorry, I just find out your message just now. So, somebody might say, okay. So, I need to set national meaning words is on time. I said, behind this side.ပြောတယ်ဆိုရင်အဓိပ္ပာယ်ရပါပဲဒါပေမဲ့ sense နည်းနည်းလေးကြည့်ကြတော့ထားဆိုရင်အော်ပြောတာတို့တောက်ပြန်ပြန်ပြောတာတို့မစင်စားဘဲနဲ့ပြန်ဆက်ပြောတာတို့အဲ့လိုပြောတယ်ဆိုရင် sense တွေအကုန်ပါတယ်အဲ့ချက်နော်ရမလားအဲ့ဆိုအကောင်လုံးရမယ်နော်ရမလားရှင်
Yes.
Okay, so we'll move to the next 5 လေးသွားရအောင် complete the family tree. Okay, ကျွန်တော် family tree လေး complete လုပ်ပေးပါ။ family tree လေးဆွဲပေးထားတာ John နဲ့ Lisa နဲ့ပေးထားတယ်။ Now Alex ပေးထားတယ်။ကျွန်တော်ဖြည့်ရမယ့်နေရာက1 2 3 4ဒီနေရာရှိတယ်။
Done.
Okay, so have you finished completing the family tree?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So what have you got for that place from John's side? Who is that?
Kate.
Kate. Yes.
Kate.
Kate is John's mother, right? So Kate, and how about Lisa's mother? Who is that?
Claire.
Carla, right?
Yes.
Carla. Am I right? Yes. Grandmother Carla, right? So that is Lisa's mother. So Kate and Carla, and then we like John and Lisa, and they have 3 children, right? So Alex, and who is the second one? Andrea, and how about the last one?
Nicole.
Yes, they have 3 children, right? Andrea and Nicole and Alex, right? Okay. So did you get all the answers for number 5, which is the family tree? Yes, okay. So we'll move to number 6 now. The message is that what does this extract tell you about the following characters? So what can you know about that following characters just by reading the extract? So what can you know about Alice? What can you know about Alice's father? And what can you know about Kate? So you have to find out the answers from the test, and after that we will discuss together again. Okay. So did you get the answers? Have you finished? ပြီးသွားပြီလားရှင်
Yeah, I'm done.
I have done. Okay. So how about the others? Have you finished? How about the girls? မင်းကလေးရောပြီးပြီလားပြီးသွားပြီနော် Okay ပြီးသွားပြီဆိုရင် what can we say about Alice's character after reading the extract? The first thing that we can tell about Alice is that he's a 15-year-old boy, right? And is there anything else that we can talk about Alice? How about his character? How do you think of his character? What can we say about his character according to the interest?
Ella is always and
Alice is always angry. Okay. And is there anything that we can say?
Alice is annoying kid.
Alice is annoying for his father, right? And is there anything that we can say? Alice နဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့အရာတွေကောင်းပြောရရတယ်။ You know, Alice နဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့ Alice ရဲ့ character, Alice ရဲ့ life skill, Alice ရဲ့
he likes his like her father to know that she's not a baby anymore, and it's like she's grown up, so like he can talk about stuff to her. Yeah,
So
she
he
wants to
thinks
feel like
that
an adult basically.
Yes, he thinks that he is mature enough, right? Actually, he is not. Am I right? He says this line, right? Plenty old enough for you to at least ask my opinion. So he thinks he's an adult already, right? He is not a child anymore, so he feels like that, right? And is there anything else we can say about him? Does he like his grandmother from his father's side? No, right? He doesn't like his grandmother from his father's side, who is Kate, right? He doesn't like Kate. And he will prefer Carla more, right? Who knows how to cook at least, right? And is there anything that we can talk about Alice? Can we say he is aggressive? Can we say like that?
Yes.
Yes. And according to his father, we can say that he just acts, right? Without thinking too much. Am I right? Yes. So is that all about Alice, according to the test?
Isn't like Amazon.
He doesn't like Amazon yet. So we can say that he is not that adventurous, right? He doesn't like the adventurous thing, right? Right? So is that all that we can say about him? That's it? Okay. So how about Alice's father? What can we say about him?
He has an annoying son.
He has an annoying son like Alice. Okay, and is there anything else that we can talk about his father? Can we say he is a strict father or not? Can we say like that?
Yes.
Yes, okay. As he can change his determination, right? Even though Alice reclaimed that he doesn't want to go to his grandmother Kate, right? So he doesn't change his decision. So we can say he is kind of like decisive, or we can also say he is kind of strict father to Alice, right? And is there anything that we can talk about his father? He knows about his sons very well, right? We can also say like that. Am I right? Am I right? Yes, ငါဘာမှလည်းပြောတာဘာမှလည်းပြောတာတစ်ချက်ပြောတော့ခါကြောက်လဲနည်းနည်းလေးဒီမှာထောက်မခံပေးကြအောင်ဘလို့မိုင်တော့ရလားအဖြေရောရရလား
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, man. Okay, so how about Kate? What can we say about Kate after reading the interest?
She lives in Amazon.
Yes. So can we say she is adventurous and like with Alice?
Maybe.
Maybe, yes. Because she decided to go to the Amazon, right? So we can say she's kind of adventurous, right? She likes to do the adventurous thing, right? She wants to take risks, right? Going to the dangerous place like Amazon, right? And is there any other things that we can know about Kate from the extra?
Very rigid person.
Very
Rigid.
rigid. Is it rigid? Am I right, honey?
Yes.
Okay, yes. And is there any other thing that we can say about her? And according to Alice, we can know that she doesn't know how to cook well, right? Even though she is a grandmother, right? Okay. So is there anything that you want to put in Alice, Kate's characters? ထည့်ထည့်ချင်တာရှိသေးလား Kate ရဲ့အကြောင်းအရာတွေမှာရှိသေးလားရှင်းချက်ပြောဒီထက်ထပ်ထည့်ချင်တော့ညီတို့ထည့်တဲ့နေထပ်ပြောရှိသေးလားမရှိတော့ Okay မရှိတော့ဆိုတဲ့အဲ့နောက်မှာချက်ထားလိုက်မယ်เนาะအဲ့ဒီအကြောင်းအရာ Okay အဲ့ဒါ number 6 to number 1 2 3ဖြည့်လို့ရမှာရှင်ရပါတယ် Okay ရမယ်เนาะစနေတွေရမယ်เนาะ
Yes.
Yes, okay. So we'll move to number 7, shall we? So walking groups and discuss these questions. So there are some questions that we have to discuss as a group. So the first question that we have to discuss is, Alice said, I'm 15, Dad, and that's plenty old enough for you to at least ask my opinion. Is he right about that? Do you think 15 years old is old enough for a father to ask his opinion? Is he right about that? How do you think?
I think he's right.
I think he is right. Why do you think so, Demi? You think he is right, right? So why do you think so?
Because 15 is plenty or enough.
Okay, so you also think that 15 is kind of mature, right? Okay, so how about the others? How do you think? So I think I have to ask one by one as you didn't even make a sound. So Pipi, how do you think? Is he right about that?
Yes, I think he's correct in some way because
Mhm.
like we should be able to make our own decision because to be independent, like if you're too dependent on your parents and when you move out of your home, like you don't even know what to do anymore.
Uh-huh.
And also when you make mistake from your decision, you can learn from it. And I think it's a part of the human nature.
Uh-huh. Okay. So you think that he should make his own decision, right? Where to go? Okay. Okay. So this time, how about Kenny? So how do you think? Do you agree with that? Kenny?
Yes.
Yes. Why do you think so?
I don't know. I just kind of agree with it.
I just kind of agree with it. Okay. So you don't have any reason, right? But you think Alice is right about that, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So how about CQ? How do you think to me? Is he right about that?
Yes.
Yes. Why do you think so to me?
Yes, because he is old enough and he can decide any problem. So that's why his father need to ask him.
Ask him first. Okay.
Yes.
So you also agree with Alice, right? Okay. Thank you to me. How about me, Duncan? How do you think to me?
I agree with him.
I agree with him. So he is right about that, right? So why do you think so to me?
Even though our parents doesn't follow our decisions or not, they should even ask our opinion.
Okay. Okay. Thank you to me. You can relate to your own situation, right? Okay. So how about Nay Nwe Lwin? How do you think? Do you agree with him or not?
Yes, I
Yes. You agree. Okay. Why do you think so to me then?
Because 15 years old can do most things.
Okay, so 15-year-old is enough to decide everything, right?
Yes.
Is that like that, right? Okay. Okay, so how about Kenny already mentioned, right? Okay, how about Nay Nwe Lwin?
I think it's right.
It's fine. Okay, why do you think so that?
50-year-old is enough to explain his opinion.
Okay, the 15-year-old is kind of like adults, right? They can make their own decision without asking their parents, right?
but every parent do not allow.
Just like your parents, am I right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but you want to make your own decision, right? Okay. So how about Uncle Dada? How do you think?
Yes, I think like ages doesn't matter very much, because even if you are very old, you are not fully grown up. Because I have saw some people, and I see that Alice shouldn't make like that decision because his father is making like the right decision. It is a very difficult time for your family.
So you think his father is right? Not Alice. Okay, so his father can make a proper decision for everyone, for every situation, right?
For this.
Okay, so how about Kong? How do you think? Is he right about that?
Yes.
Yes. Why do you think so then?
Because I believe that it's not because of his age. Like, I think that even if the kid is like 9, 10, I think he or she should have a say in family matters because like he or she is a family. Yeah, I think that, and he's 15, so I think he's old enough to do some sort of things in like in primary school system. Is like 15 is like older than, so I think it's pretty like old enough. Yeah.
To make his or her own decision, right? Okay. So how about Yap Kung Fu? How do you think?
Yes, I'm so agree because he's old enough to make his own decision.
So okay, so you also agree with it. Okay, so how about Suzu? Suzu, how do you think to me?
I think he's wrong
Okay.
because he can't make his own decision. I think he make the wrong decision and he's cut his hands. That's not good.
Yeah. So he is not mature enough to make his own decision, right?
Yes,
That's why looking at his manner and behavior, right?
yes.
Okay, thank you, Demi. So how about Susie? Demi, how do you think?
I'm pretty sure he's right, but like in the other hand, Asian parents think about like the age of the 18 is the old enough for their children, but I don't agree with that because that is like old traditional. So like 15 of the age of the 15 can decide all the things that they want, and also we have to give like at least one chances to tell about their opinions or their discussion. So also like most of the children are learning their mistake from their problems, and if they're wrong, in that case they will be like able to do right in the next case. Yes.
Okay. So you think he is right about that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I think everyone has given their answers, right? Who loves to give the answers? No one, right? So I think according to your answers, only 2 of you guys disagree with Alice, right? Most of you guys agree with Alice that he should make his own decision. Am I right? So I think you can relate your real situation, right? Because you guys are like 14 or 15, right? So you can
Yes.
give the empathy to our character Alice, as you guys are at the same age, right? So you can relate your situation. Okay. Okay, so there is the second question that we have to discuss. So the second question is that what do you think is going to happen next in the story? So can you make a guess what is going to happen next in the story?
He can refuse his father's orders, so he have to go to Kate.
Yeah, so he has to go with his grandmother Kate to the Amazon, right? Okay, so how about the others? How do you think? What will happen next in the story? You all agree with Jaime A or what? Or are you guys thinking? So look at the cover again. What will happen next in the story? What happened next in the story? Can you make a guess just by looking at the cover?
Some bad thing
Mhm.
could happen or some good thing can happen.
Good things and bad things will happen throughout their journey, like that?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So maybe Alan has to go along with his grandmother Kate, whether he likes or not, right? And I think they may face or they may, encounter with the dangers and with the beasts in the Amazon, right? And finally, they may have a good relationship between them. So that is on our candy. So if you want to find out the real ending or the real events in the novels, you can find in the Google. I don't know. I'm not sure about that, whether you can find it in the Google or not. So that is just on our candy, right? Okay. So I think we have finished everything in Unit 2, right? So is there any question about Unit 2, about the grammar points and about the vocabulary? Is there any question?
No.
No. How about the others?
No.
No.
No, teacher.
No. Okay. ဆိုတော့ unit 2 တစ်ခုလုံးပြီးသွားပြီเนาะ2တစ်ခုလုံးပြီးသွားပြီဆိုတော့ဘာမေးပြနေရှိသေးလဲအရှိမှကျွန်တော် grammar သင်လာတာ point နှစ်ခုလောက်ရှိနေတယ်ဆိုတော့ connecting words တွေရယ်ပြီးကြတော့ကျွန်တော်ဗာလဲအရှိမှ regret အကြောင်းဖော်ပြတဲ့ pattern တွေရယ်နောက်ပြီးကြတော့သုံးခုရှိတယ် grammar point ကဟုတ်တယ်เนาะနောက်ပြီးကြတော့ဗာလဲ well future passive လောက်မသိအဲ့ဒါသုံးခုသုံးနေရယ်အဲ့တော့ grammar pattern ကသုံးခုရှိတယ်ကျန်တာတွေကကြတော့ဗာလဲပေါ့etiquette တို့ပါတော့ vocabulary အဲ့တော့ grammar point vocabulary point ဆိုတာမေးကြဘာမှမရှိဘူးဆိုတာသိထားပြီလားဒီလိုမေးကြမှမရှိဘူးဆိုချက်နောက်နေပြီးတော့မှဒီလိုပြန်ပြီးတော့ there is a question မေးမှာပေါ့ဘာလို့မေးရမှာ to make sure whether you guys really get it or not right I have to make sure အဲ့တော့မရှိအောင်တော့မေးကြ
No.
Okay မရှိအောင်ဆိုရင်ကျွန်တော်နောက်တစ်ပတ်တောက်လို့ရှိရင် workbook ထဲက exercise လေးလုပ်ပြီးနောက်တစ်ပတ်မဟုတ်ပါဘူးကျွန်တော်ပြန်ပေးပါ photo နေလာမယ်နော်အဲ့ photo နေတောက်လို့ရှိရင်ကျွန်တော် exercise လေးပြန်လုပ်ကြအောင်အဲ့တော့ grammar point လေးနဲ့ပြန်ကြည့်ခဲ့မယ်နော်ရမယ်နော် Okay so that's all for today if you don't have any question question မရှိဘူးဆိုတော့ကျွန်တော်မှာရပါမယ် Okay so everyone bye bye for today we'll see you on Wednesday again bye bye
Bye, teacher.
bye
Bye. Yeah.
bye bye
Cute.
bye bye